We have to do it again.
Well, not all of it, but you were telling me that Joe
I
is
called my
Julian's-
cousin Joe,
who's
who's
Julian's
the second child of my Uncle Julian, my mother's brother.
Mila's.
One of Mila's, her only son.
Okay.
Anyway, he had 4 children, and Joe is the second, and I've always been close to her. My sister Marge and I have stayed close to her. We stay in contact. But I called her, and I told her I wanted to hear some of the stories. Because she had more time with Mila and more time with our great-grandmother, Frances. She said Frances was a mean old woman. That Frances used to walk up behind her and grab her right here and pinch real hard and make a bruise. And she said she was just a mean old woman. And she said Gwines, who, the old man she married last, she said he was mean too.
I wonder why she was so mean.
Well, I don't know, unless she just had a hard life. They all had a hard life then. Anyway, I can remember going to her farmhouse a time or two, and we picked cotton. And that was an event.
This was out towards Forney? Just outside of Dallas?
Crandall, which is near Forney.
Okay.
But I was closer to Maggie, her oldest child. She married Maggie to a Boykin, a distant cousin, when Maggie was 14, because they were so destitute, having been sent back from Missouri, losing their inheritance when their father died. They were shipped back to Texas to their mother,
Who had already been kicked out.
who had already been kicked out because she got pregnant by someone else with Fred. She was pregnant with Fred by someone else. And so she was sent back to Texas. And then their father died apparently pretty soon. He must have been much older, I think, than Fanny.
I think at least 20 years from what I remember.
He died, and the sisters sent the girls home then. Fred was born in Texas. The girls were born in Missouri.
Okay.
But they lost their inheritance and were shipped back home.
Do we think that they were Julians?
Yeah, they were, well, who knows, but they were Julians. That was their maiden name.
Okay.
They were destitute, very poor. And Frances married off her oldest daughter, Maggie, when she was 14, to Claude Boykin, who was a good man, but he was maybe 20 or 25 years older. And Frances did it so they would have a home. He provided them a home on the farm.
Not just Maggie, but her mother and sister and brother.
Yes, yes. And sometime during that period, when Maggie got pregnant, I don't know how old she was when she first got pregnant, Frances was pregnant too, by Claude. And what I'm told is that Frances's baby was a stillborn, didn't survive. Who knows? Who knows? But Maggie never forgave her mother, and they never had a relationship after that. But at some point, probably at that point, Frances moved, and I don't know if that's when she married Gwines or if that came later. I don't have a timeline on any of this.
I found the marriage license for her second marriage, and it was several years later. So
Okay.
who knows what she did
Yeah.
in between the time.
Yeah.
But she obviously couldn't stay with Maggie.
No. When I knew her, and I never knew her well, she was married to Mr. Gwines,
Okay.
and they had a farm. And that's where we would go sometimes in the summer and pick cotton. But we never did that very much. My cousin Joe, her brothers and sisters, and they had more of a relationship there than I did. I was closer to my father's family.
Okay.